Today's topic is, don't drink Holy Thorn Tea without knowing this. You know that annoying heartburn, that pain that just won't go away, what do you do? Probably the same as millions of Brazilians. You go to the kitchen, boil some water, and prepare a little Holy Thorn Tea. You drink that warm liquid, feel almost instant relief, and think, thank goodness nature gives us these gifts. It's a ritual we learn from our family, passed down from generation to generation. We trust this plant, it's practically the queen of stomach health. And you're not wrong to believe that. But what if I told you that, depending on how you prepare this tea, the quantity and frequency, you may be, without realizing it, trading a stomach problem for a risk to your liver? That's right. The same plant that relieves gastritis can, under certain conditions, overload the hardest working organ in your body. There's a very fine line between medicine and risk, and many people cross that line without even noticing. In this video, we're gonna lay all the cards on the table about this story. I'll tell you the dose that transforms the benefit into danger, the risks that nobody tells you about, and, most importantly, how to use this powerful plant the right and safe way. Stay with me until the end, because the information I'm going to give you today can truly protect your health. The undisputed queen of stomach health. Before talking about the warning, let's do justice to Espinharisanta Matenus ilicifolia. If it has all this fame, it's not for nothing. It's not just popular belief. Science has been working to confirm what our grandmothers already knew. Matenus ilicifolia, its fancy name, is indeed one of the most respected plants when it comes to digestive health. Think of it as a team of firefighters and builders for your stomach. When gastritis strikes, it's as if a small fire is burning the stomach wall. Acidity rises. The mucosa becomes inflamed and irritated. The tea arrives with two missions. First, it helps extinguish the flames, that is, the acidity. Some animal studies have shown that its components may have a protective effect on the gastric mucosa, but the real magic lies in its second mission. Protection. Espinharisanta Matenus ilicifolia is rich in tannins and mucilage. Imagine that, after extinguishing the fire, the wall of your stomach is still very sensitive. The mucilage forms a protective layer on top, like a natural and invisible band-aid. This protects the mucosa from direct contact with the acid and gives it time to heal properly. That's why the relief from pain and burning is usually so quick. And it doesn't stop there. Research, including studies validated by health organizations, confirms its action not only for gastritis and heartburn, but also as an aid in the treatment of ulcers. Some laboratory studies even suggest that it may have some activity against the H. pylori bacteria, that famous villain behind many stomach problems. Its components guarantee an antioxidant and anti-inflammatory action that helps soothe the digestive system. So, yes, Espinharisanta is quite an ally. And it is precisely because it is so good and popular that we need to talk about the other side of the coin. The origin of the fear. Does Espinharisanta really attack the liver? And that brings us to the golden question, the one that probably brought you here. Where did this story that Espinharisanta attacks the liver come from? Are we harming our main filter by taking care of our stomach? Let's separate fact from rumor. The most direct answer is, Espinharisanta, when used correctly, is not considered a villain for the liver. In fact, some animal studies have even shown the opposite effect, protecting the liver. But, hold on, this doesn't mean that the tea is a liver tonic for humans, or that there are no risks. So, why so much fear? The confusion stems from two main things. The first is a basic principle that applies to everything. The difference between medicine and poison is in the dose. Think of water. It's essential, but in excess, it's harmful. An analgesic relieves pain, but a whole box can destroy the liver. The fact that it's natural doesn't give a free pass for unlimited consumption. Nature has super potent substances, and the power of Espinharisanta comes from there. But this same potency, in excess, can overload the body. The second source of fear is very serious. Adulteration. Often, what is sold as Espinharisanta is not the real plant, and these imposters can indeed be toxic to the liver. In other words, the fear doesn't just come from the plant itself, but from misuse and the lack of guarantee about what we are actually consuming. The three real dangers you probably ignore. Now that we understand that the plant itself isn't the villain, let's focus on the real dangers, which are the mistakes many people make. Danger number 1. The leader of tea syndrome. This is, by far, the most common mistake. People feel an upset stomach and think, I'll just make 1 or 2 liters of tea and leave it in the refrigerator to drink throughout the day. Sounds practical, right? But it's a terrible idea. Your stomach is designed to be acidic. This acidity is essential for digesting food and protecting us from bacteria. Espinera Santa Maitenosilis helps control this acidity when it's in excess. A cup before a meal soothes irritation and protects the mucous membrane. It's a one-time action. Now, if you drink the tea all day long, you're constantly decreasing the natural acidity. In the long run, this can hinder digestion, causing bloating and gas. And, theoretically, it could even make it difficult to absorb important nutrients, such as iron and B12, which need an acidic environment. You try to solve one problem and end up creating another. Danger number 2. Liver overload. Here, we link excess to the liver. Even if the plant isn't directly toxic, abuse changes the game. Think of your liver as the manager of a factory. Everything you consume passes through it to be processed. A cup of tea. The liver handles that calmly, but when you drink liters a day, day after day, it's as if you're constantly sending work to this manager without giving him a break. This constant overload can lead to liver stress. It's in this context of chronic abuse that the risk appears. It's not a direct attack. It's the organ's fatigue from overwork. The danger isn't the tea, it's the flood. Danger number 3. The imposter in your cup. This is a silent and very serious danger. The name is Espinera Santa. Holy Thorn is famous, and therefore, other plants that have nothing to do with the real one, Maitenosilis, are sold in its place. There are species, like Serotia bamblande, that are popularly known as false holy thorn. The problem, these plants not only don't provide the benefits, but some can be toxic to the liver. So, with the best intentions, you buy the leaf at a market without certification, prepare your tea. And in reality, you're consuming a plant that can harm you. And the blame, unfairly, falls on the true holy thorn. How to recognize the real one? Maitennis ilicifolia has leaves with small, hard thorns on the edges, resembling holly leaves, the ones used at Christmas. If the leaf is smooth, be suspicious. Buying herbs from unknown sources is risky. You don't know the origin, whether it has pesticides, or if it's the right plant. The golden rule's your guide to safe use. No more fear. Now you'll know how to use holy thorn the right way. Forget the liter of tea and adopt these 4 golden rules. Golden rule number 1, the correct dose. In herbal medicine, more is not better. A common and safe dosage is 1 teaspoon, about 2 to 3 grams of dried leaves for each cup of water, about 250 milliliters. Boil the water, pour it over the leaves, cover, and let it steep for about 10 minutes. Strain and drink. The general recommendation is 2 to 3 cups a day, at most. The measurement is the cup, not the liter. Golden rule number 2. Timing is everything. Your body needs breaks. The use of medicinal plants should not be forever, as if it were water. The best strategy is to use them in cycles. For example, for a gastritis flare-up, you can use the tea daily for about 2 to 4 weeks. Then, take a break. Give your body a vacation of 1 or 2 weeks. Continuous use, for months without stopping, is what can cause problems. Golden rule number 3. Know the contraindications. There are groups that should not use Espinera Santa without speaking to a doctor, and this list is non-negotiable. Pregnant women, or women trying to conceive, should avoid it, as there are reports that the plant may have an abortive effect. Breastfeeding women should also avoid it, as it may reduce milk production. It is not recommended for children, as there is insufficient safety data for them. Furthermore, if you have any chronic illness, especially liver problems, or use controlled medications, talking to your doctor or pharmacist beforehand is mandatory. Golden rule number 4. Quality is not a luxury, it's safety. Your health is worth more than a small saving. Preferably by Espinharisanta. From pharmacies, reputable natural product stores, or brands that guarantee the correct identification of the plant. Packaged products with an inspection seal are a guarantee that you are taking home Maidness elicifolia and not an imposter. So, what's the moral of the story? Espinharisanta is not the enemy of your liver. The real enemy is the lack of information. The danger isn't in the leaf itself, but in excessive dosage, continuous use, and buying products of dubious origin. Now, the power is with you. You don't need to fear the plant, but rather respect its potency. You already know the dosage, the duration of use, who shouldn't take it, and the importance of buying from the right place. If this guide helped you understand the truth and gave you more confidence, show me. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content that unveils health in a clear way. And, most importantly, share this video. Think of that relative or friend who always has a large bottle of tea in the refrigerator. Send this video to them. You might be protecting the health of someone you care about. And now I want to hear from you. Leave a comment below. Did you already use Espinharisanta? Were you aware of these risks related to dosage and fake plants? What was your experience? Let's continue this conversation in the comments.